Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Redskins Talk TV. This is your host, Dre. Now, just got finished watching the game not too long ago. I am so very happy that we got this win. It wasn't an easy win by any stretch of the imagination, and as I said in my pregame analysis, the Tennessee Titans are not a bad team. Everyone predicted that we were going to win. It was going to be a close game, and yes, it was, 19-17. It's not a walk in the park with any game that we have. But in those games where it looks like it should be easy, we make it look difficult because of just different things happening. When I'm doing my pregame analysis, I like to assess key players for the opponent to see how we can shut them down. And then, of course, during the game, I have my notepad. I'm always jotting down just things that I observed during the game. So let's go ahead and get into that. Third down conversions are a continuous problem for our team. Alfred Morris, he's able to get a couple of yards positive when he's handed the ball. And then when it comes to the next couple of plays, converting and getting that first down, keeping everything fresh, being able to march down the field, we're having a difficult time with that. And we really need for our offensive line to step up. We need a bully type of offensive line, and they need to have that mentality like the defensive linemen and the linebackers owe them the lunch money, and they really need to put them paws on them, on the linemen, really push them around instead of playing with finesse. And we're not a finesse team. We don't play with finesse. But some of the offensive linemen definitely play like they have the veins full of estrogen. And I'm talking about mainly Chris Chester and Tyler Columbus. More so Tyler Columbus because he protects the quarterback on that right edge. And speaking of Tyler Columbus, you see what happened today where he got beat on that first turnover with Cousins because he got beat. The defender got to Cousins, caught him right as he was passing the ball, and Tennessee recovered. And I've been talking about this pretty much all of my games for this season and a couple of games last season. Tyler Columbus is weak. Eventually, he did get benched, which is good. Hopefully, they'll keep him on the bench because he doesn't play with the right technique. And you even hear announcers talk about how he's getting beat because of the way that he plays, and he's getting either that or he's getting pushed into the lap of the quarterback, and that's where bad things are starting to happen. So this isn't necessarily a problem against RG3 because I've always said any quarterback under center is going to have the same problem. So RG3, he doesn't have that trust. Kirk Cousins, as you see now, is uncomfortable because of what's happening with the pressure coming from the right side, and that's a problem that unfortunately Coach Gruden hasn't been able to identify, and they waited till later in this game to bench Tyler Columbus, which they should have done last season with the Shanahan staff. The tight end squad, Jordan Reed, Logan Paulson, Niles Paul, they need a lot of work on blocking because they need to come in to spell as an extra lineman to help block for Alfred Morris. Alfred Morris is a key cog in this machine that's going to help us to be successful. Unfortunately, he's yet to eclipse the 100-yard mark because of piss-poor run blocking by the offensive line. You can't run to the edges because the sideline pursuit of the defenders and linebackers is very quick. And also, we're allowing for defenders to get into the backfield on the back-end pursuit. So Alfred Morris, 14, 15 carries for about 54 yards. Frustrating for me because I love for him to be able to get those 100-yard games. When you compare him to DeMarco Murray, you can see that DeMarco Murray's success is because of his tenacity, but more so because of the strong play by the offensive line, and also because Tony Romo is playing better. I'm not trying to give credit to the Dallas Cowboys because I'll be the first one to tell you, fuck the Cowboys. But the truth is, when you compare the two teams, and we'll be battling against them on the 27th, Monday Night Football, the keys to a successful team is being able to run the ball, which we haven't been able to do, and our record is indicative of that. What else? Offensive line, I've already spoken about that, allowing for defenders to penetrate into the backfield, not so much so on passing plays, but on run plays in particular. We see where Alfred Morris is getting tackled a lot for a loss or for no gain at all. And once again, that's all part of strength and conditioning, so the staff really needs to work on that. Play calling by Coach Gruden. When you're looking at a 3rd and 19 and you're calling for a screen pass, you saw where Pierre Garçon, he got the ball, but also you see on other screen passes where it seemed like the defenders knew where the ball was going, and they were already in the face of the ball catcher for a loss. But on the 1/3 and 19 play, luckily Garcon, he was able to make a little bit happen. He got 6 yards out of it, but he had to run damn near 50 yards just to get 6 yards of positive gain. And once again, what the fuck is Coach Gruden calling with those kind of plays? We're going backwards. We're starting with a second and 6, and then all of a sudden we're turning up 3rd and 19, also because of some sort of penalty. That's the kind of shit that kills us as a team. And it's a play calling that's also killing this team because Coach Gruden is trying to be too cute instead of just playing that hard-nosed football. And it's easy for me to say that, but that's what we need is a ground game, an established ground game to take the pressure off of Kirk Cousins. Once RG3 comes back, he's not going to be able to do it by himself. I have all the faith in the world in RG3. But for those who are calling for Kirk Cousins over RG3, as I said, you get what you asked for. And now when you're not getting what you asked for, you're calling for McCoy. I'm glad that he came in. He was able to get us on the move. But the play calling was a little bit different with him under center, where they had a few more rushing plays called in. So you can't really give too much credit because the play selection was also different as opposed to when Kirk Cousins was under center. The defense still not getting pressure up the middle of the field. Not being able to get to the quarterback on a consistent basis or having them hurry is a problem. Part of that, as I've said all along, is the fact that we have corners that are playing too far off the damn line of scrimmage, and that doesn't help our defensive line because everything is based on timing. And if we're not jamming the receivers on those pass plays, the quarterback is going through his reads, and with the timing, he's getting the ball out of his hands. So what can we do in order to get more pressure on the quarterback? We need for the corners to play on the line of scrimmage. We need for the corners to punch the receiver in the fucking chest the moment the ball is snapped, because that is within the means, within that first 5 yards, to just get their hands on it, delay the pass route, and allow just for that split second for Kerrigan and gang to add pressure and hopefully hurry the quarterback. But we're not getting that. And we got our hands full coming up against Tony Romo in that offensive line. So that's going to be a tough game. Penalties on defense. There were times where we had that 3 and out, but some sort of dumb penalty on a defense allowed for an automatic first down. So we need more discipline. The only highlight of this game is that the special teams didn't screw us over with this game. Also, E.J. Biggers, number 30. I've talked about E.J. Biggers on a lot of my videos, and I've said ever since he came onto our squad back in 2012, at least one game since he's been on a team, on a pass play, on a long play, he has let us down, and it's resulted in a touchdown. He did it back in 2012 when Kirk Cousins came in for that first game against the Cleveland Browns. He allowed a touchdown then. He allowed it for last season. He allowed it today. And it's just one of those things. He was on the line of scrimmage. He just didn't apply a jam on the receiver and the receiver got behind him and scored a touchdown. This game could have been a lot more competitive, and the score would have been a bit more lopsided had he just played with better technique. But those are just my takeaways for this game. I'm glad that we got this win. We got a hands full against the Cowboys next week, the Monday Night Football game. I'll be at work, but it's going to be an interesting game. Hopefully we can make it competitive. But all the same, go ahead and leave your comments in the comment section. Share your views. For my Redskins family, hail to the Redskins.